All right, let's go ahead and sync audio. I'll say 1, Phil will say 2, Kristie say 3, I will say 4, Phil say 5, Kristie say 6, and then I'll say, and now, clap. And we'll clap into our respective mics. Hold on, I think my son is coming. Yep, that's him. Okay, we're going to say hi to our friends.
Hey, baby.
James wanted to say hi to my friends. Can you say hi, James? This is Phil, and that's Kristie. Can you hear him?
Hey, James.
Hi, James.
Can you say hi?
You have your Buzz Lightyear PJs on?
Okay, good job. All right, say goodnight.
So jealous. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, James.
All right.
He's got the prettiest hair. Little curly locks. So cute. So stinking cute. He looks just like Carrie, though. Have you had anybody tell you that they listened to Torchbearer's story?
Other than David telling me that Nathan listened to it, nobody.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It'll be exciting when all the episodes with all of us come out, or just the full-on episodes, not episode zeros.
Yeah, I think so. Get the public in on it.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because, like, all of my friends that don't do this with me, I try to explain it to them in a way that'll, like, not have them being like, and, like, turning away right away.
Exactly.
And some of them are really receptive to this idea because they're like, well, that's something I've never heard of before.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that because it feels like we're drawing in people that have never been, listeners to TTRPGs and stuff. And
yeah, for sure.
I so look forward to listening back to this audio. I hope y'all had a really funny stinger for me to put in.
How dare you? We would never say anything while you were away. We were silent little cherubs.
Silent. We don't talk to each other unless David is present.
Yes.
It's in our clause.
That's the rule. I follow the rules.
David doesn't pay me enough to talk to the other guys.
Ooh. Burn.
It's funny because it's true.
Oh my gosh.
Hello, friends. This is Carrie White, and you are listening to Tales to Inspire.
An unseen threat grows. Geiger Gwen has been hard at work thwarting the efforts of the Tuskman criminal empire in the Pacific Northwest. On the other side of the continent, Torchbearer has been battling against the villainous Professor Dusk. Their two separate crusades will bring them crashing together. Can the courageous couple put a stitch in the diabolical duo's impending plan?
As we open this issue of Tales to Inspire, we see the little yellow box in the corner of this panel says Seattle, Washington, July 1945. And Kristie, I would actually like for you to take the reins of the artist for this panel and tell us, where is this panel happening?
So I picture a panel of dark, rainy, low-lit alleyway in a little yellow box that says Pike Street. You see Gwen outside like a secret door down Pike Street. She's just leaning against like one of the brick walls. And just for a shout out to the tourist of Seattle, there's bubblegum sticking all around her on the wall, because there is a disgusting bubblegum filled wall. But she's leaning against it, one foot propped up. She's got her fedora like ticked down and her big old trench coat just like covering her up. And then you just see another panel of her being like, all right, that's enough. And she goes to open the door and she just rushes back in and like collides with someone.
Okay. So you are, like, you're in the underground tunnels, or are you in the alleyway of Pike Street?
I went through the secret door into the tunnel.
Okay. So we see Geiger Gwen rolling down these steps, tackling somebody. You land at the bottom. You know, there's the dark arched tunnels reaching out in front of you. The wires hanging between the electric lights, and we see a couple of these goons kind of looking at Geiger Gwen. And Geiger Gwen, I guess if we're gonna do some fighting, we need to do a combat exchange.
Okay. I want to throw out there that after she rolls down the steps with this guy, there's a panel of her just like kneeling over his prone body, and she definitely lands in the Black Widow pose. Mm-hmm. And just looks up, and then you see another panel of all the guys just staring at her. And she's just like, all right, cracks her neck. Time to go to work.
Perfect. Okay, so, man, do I want to do a move, or do we want to just do this narratively? Yeah, we'll have plenty of time to roll dice. So let's just do this narratively. So you land on top of this dude. They all look up. A couple of them cock their Tommy guns, raise them up, and they go to shoot you. Gwen, what do you do?
You see her just like put her hands up, and she goes, oh, shh. And then you see her just phase into the wall for a second.
Perfect. And like these bullets like ricochet off the steps like right behind where you were. And then they pause and look around. Where'd she go? Hey, get the package. Get it out of here. We can't let her get it. And we see one of them like run off further down the not alleyway, the tunnel.
And then there's a panel of her just jumping out of the wall next to one, tapping him on the shoulder, and she's like, hey! Punches him in the face.
Pow! Big onomatopoeia behind his head. And I think we go to the next panel, and the next panel is this lone guy rushing down the alleyway. And I'm not exactly sure of like the architecture and how it works, but I like the idea that like somewhere there is a sloped tunnel where like a car could come in. And so like he runs into this tunnel. We see a vehicle there, and they're loading up some like wooden crate into it. And he rushes, breathless, opens the door. She's here, get it out, get it to the boss. And they're all panicking, and they're pushing that wooden crate in. Geiger Gwen, where are you?
She's just standing over the prone bodies of like 5 guys, and she just slowly starts walking down the tunnel towards them. They're like, you need to talk quieter, I can totally hear you.
She's coming, I'll hold her off. And he like jumps back behind the door, and we see like the onomatopoeias, and then I think we see like some chunk, pow, crack onomatopoeias, and then like a silent panel, and we see these people like staring at the open door where these onomatopoeias were coming from, like the box still half loaded into the truck.
And then you just see there's a panel of the onomatopoeias of just like click, 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 and it's her heels of her boots as she's walking around the corner. And she's like, oh, boys, you leaving without me? That was just rude.
and they go to shove that box in there, and they go to peel out.
She takes a running leap towards it.
Okay. Now, I think we should have a roll.
Okay.
Geiger Gwen, why don't you roll a take a risk? And so you're running and you're leaping.
Yeah, she's trying to grab the back of the car so she can be with the box.
Okay. Let's roll with maneuver. So take a risk with a maneuver.
Okay. Ooh. 9?
A 9. Okay. So you do it imperfectly. The EIC tells you how your approach might lead to unexpected consequences. Accept those consequences or mark 1 stress. So I think you jump. Let's see. How can we make this fun? I think you jump and you grab onto like the back of this vehicle. And as you grab onto it, it peels out. So you have like a hold of the tailgate, and the tailgate comes loose, and one of the chains holding it breaks. And so like you are holding on to this tailgate, hanging on by a single chain as it speeds up the slope. You can accept that consequence, or you can mark 1 stress to say like you land in the car.
I'm gonna accept that. I'm just gonna be getting dragged by the chain behind it. I almost feel like that should add a stress too, though. In all honesty,
it might add a stress. We'll have to see.
Okay.
So it peels out. You're like hanging on to this. We see like the succession of panels of the car like peeling out and going up the slope to the street up above on ground level, and we just see like sparks flying off this tailgate as Geiger Gwen is like not surfing on it, but like boogie boarding on it almost as it goes peeling up. That wooden box, whatever they are trying so desperately to keep you from getting, is right above in its place, and they like come up out of the tunnel, swerve, and then like some pedestrians scream and jump out of the way as his car skids by. Geiger Gwen, what are you doing hanging on to that tailgate?
Gosh, this would be a lot easier with some help. And she's just trying to hand over hand up the chain towards the back of the car.
Okay. So now let's go ahead and roll a seize control. And I'll say roll this with smash, because going hand over hand up a chain that's swerving and sliding is real hard.
Oh no, my conditions have kicked in now. This is not going to be nice.
Oh yeah?
Oh no! It's a 4.
It's a 4. Oh man. Do you want to burn a bond to step it up, or take that?
I'm going to burn a bond with public opinion.
Ooh, okay.
Because... Oh, wait. What'd you say happened?
So, like, it came out of this tunnel, it's swerving, it, like, some pedestrians jumped out of the way screaming as it sped by, like, maybe your thing, like, slid up onto the sidewalk next to them,
okay,
like, knocking over some people or something.
So, I'm not hanging by just a chain. I have, like, the tailgate underneath me, right?
Yes.
Okay, so as she's pulling the chain... She gets her feet under her enough where the tailgate, she's kind of like surfing on it. Mm-hmm. But as they start turning and she has to choose between letting go or getting thrown into a shop, she decides to just like kick her feet out and kick the tailgate away from her and use that momentum to like pull herself into the back. But the tailgate goes flying at pedestrians. Like right towards them into like a shop store right behind them.
Yeah, like one of the glass window fronts like shatters as the tailgate goes through it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you step it up to a 7 through 9 because you step up your bond clock. So choose one. You seize control over what was contested, but your opponent attacks you in retaliation. You enter into a combat exchange. Or you seize control over what was contested, but the effort exhausted you. Mark a condition.
but the person retaliates because is there someone in the back of the car, or there's just someone driving the car?
Yeah. So there's somebody driving. I picture there's someone in the passenger seat and somebody back in the back that had loaded up the crate. And really, if you got into a fight, it would be with all three of these because they would count as a group.
Okay. Yeah, no, I picture it as she gets in the back with the box, but they're fast enough to retaliate, whoever's in the back or whatever.
Okay. So you kick up into the back of this truck, and as you land, successfully having got to your place, you see we see like a panel, and then we see just like a knife appear with a swish from the top half of the panel, as whoever's back there is going to attack you. So let's go to a combat exchange. NPC will choose first in secret. I have chosen what they are going to do. What are you going to do?
Defend and maneuver.
Okay. They choose to advance and attack. So defend and maneuver gets to go first. Go ahead and roll plus your protect.
Oh, jeez, oh, beats. Oh, nice. That's 10.
10, so you get to choose 2.
So first of all, I'm going to ready. So I'm just going to get myself ready to like block the knife, basically. I'll just get ready to retaliate. So if he does it, since he is attacking me with the knife, whatever move he uses, Gwen's just going to use it to like turn it around on him if she can.
Okay. Yeah, so he chooses to advance and attack, so he is going to strike, and he's going to mark 1 stress. Well, actually, he won't mark 1 stress, so he's going to leave it up to you. Do you choose to mark 2 stress or mark a condition?
I'll mark 2 stress.
Okay, I'll remind you that you have prepared, and what prepared means is you can either clear it, like you can use it to give yourself a +2 to an appropriate roll, or to avoid marking a condition. So technically, you could burn it right now and say that he gives you a condition, but you use prepared to like not take a condition.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just a little like mechanics metagaming right there.
Okay, so if he's swiping at me, then I would have taken hopeless, but instead of, because I'm prepared, I get a hold of his forearm and I'm just holding the knife back from hitting me. Yeah.
And then you also chose to retaliate, so
if
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, if I get it fast enough, then I want to try and turn it around to him to try and just like push the knife back towards him.
Yeah, I think you do. You're going to inflict 1 stress on him. So, I mean, this is just one guy. So tell me, how do you do it?
Well, it's just really fast. So, like, the moment he swings towards me, I kind of get a hold of him, and then I just twist his arm so that he pulls his own knife up into his gut.
Oof.
And I'm just like, oh, ouch, sorry. And then I throw him out the back of the truck.
Yeah. Wilhelm scream out the back of the truck. And the driver and passenger are still like cruising, dodging, weaving in and out of traffic. The driver looks in the rearview mirror and sees you like fling the mook off the back, and he screams to the passenger, "Get her out of there! I don't care what you have to do, just get her out!" And so he brings up his Tommy gun and he like turns and faces you and he cocks it, and there would be no way for you to get out of the way. You would have to jump out the back of this car. But before he shoots, we see the driver is driving, fist tight on the wheel, and then he starts to squint. He like lifts up a hand to shield something. He's like, "Why is it so?" And his text box is cut off as Torchbearer. What happens?
Torchbearer drops down into the panel like in a flash, holds his hands out and smashes into the front of this big cargo truck, skidding it back slightly as it makes an impact and slowing this truck down so it's no longer endangering everybody else in traffic.
perfect. And we have like this huge splash scene, splash panel of you like grabbing the truck, like it crumples, the front of it crumples a little bit against your chest and in your biceps. It like comes up off the ground a little bit. The two mooks in the front like fly forward and like hit the windshield, and we have like their little comically pressed faces up against the windshield.
We get like a panel where like the light subsides and you can see Torchbearer standing there in front of the car, and he sees the two guys pressed up against the windows. Sorry I'm late, boys. Seattle's a lot farther than I thought.
Crystal Blazer. Yeah, Geiger Gwen, what do you do?
I was gonna say you see Gwen get thrown forward too, but she's standing in the back, so she like lands with her hands on the top of the car, and she's like, "Ah, I had it under control."
Oh, Gwen? It's a long time no see.
She's like lifts her head from the top of the car. She's like, "Yeah, good to see you too. Want to wrap this up for me?"
No problem. Torch wants to like reach through the glass, grab them by the collars, and pull them out of the window through the windshield.
Yeah, that happens, absolutely.
Just one at a time, throwing them into the street.
There's a panel of Gwen just grabbing the box and hopping down from the back of the car, and she just like heaves it over to Torch, and she's like, "Hey, look at that timing."
Yeah. Kind of serendipitous.
What are you doing here?
Well, back in Philadelphia, I came across some of these guys, these goons working for Professor Duskowitz, and seemed to be connected somehow to Tuskman. And they were shipping these crates and whatever cargo they have out of the Philadelphia docks, so I knew that Tuskman usually works in this area, so I thought I'd drop in.
And Torchbearer, as you're like just casually talking about this, we see in the background of the panel like those two mooks that you threw down like think that you have forgotten about them, and so like look around. We see like the movement lines of their heads like looking around, and they pick themselves up and start to run away. How do you not let them run away? How do you prevent their escape? As you're just casually relaying this information as you're stopping these two goons from getting away.
Let's say he walks around to the side of this cargo truck and tears off one of the front left top, like the driver's side tire, and just kind of rolls it down the highway, and it takes a couple bounces rolling along, and eventually comes up and hits both of them in the back, or like hits one in the back and bounces off, and it hits the other in the head, and they both kind of stumble back down to the ground.
Yeah, like one stumbles into a trash can with his legs hanging up in the air, and the other like just falls on his face, and like serendipitously there's like a patrol car right there, and there's a police officer sitting there with a donut just looking down, and he just takes a bite of his donut. And then we go back to the panel with Gwen and Torchbearer.
Gwen just looks at Torch with like starry eyes. She's like, "That was nice. Nicely done."
Oh, well, thank you. So, how did you get involved in all this?
Who, me? Oh, I'm just,
Wait, you're not working with him, are you?
Me work with Tuskman. Wow, that's feels like a low blow, but also it wasn't wrong at one time, so you're fine. Nope. He's just on my list.
I understand. So, what exactly are they shipping out of here?
Well, shall we? And she just lifts the box so he can see it, and then drops it and tries to open it.
Yeah, and you pop the top of this wooden box off, and we see like all the what was the? I guess it was hay, right? Like in old shipping containers, like what they use.
Straw.
Like, straw. Okay, yeah. So you open it up and you see all this straw, and perfectly pressed in the middle is this mask. This kind of mask made out of like ebony, or maybe burnt wood or something like that. But it is very exotic looking. There are no jewels on it. There are some chiseling and carvings in the facial structure of it, but it's just a black mask.
Well, that's really anticlimactic.
Yeah, it's not very fancy.
Gwen reaches down to grab it.
It's light. It barely feels like anything, but you just lift it up out of this crate. And Torchbearer, as she lifts it out, as it gets closer to you, you feel this dissonance between you and it. Like how a flame would flicker in a room full of darkness.
Oh. That's odd. What is this thing?
And Gwen doesn't feel that? What do you mean? Like, I wonder if he's just like smuggling antiquities? That feels wrong.
Yeah, that would seem odd enough, but this is something else. This is weird. It gives me a bad feeling. Whatever he wants this for, whatever he's using this for, it can't be good.
You are not wrong. Gwen shoves it into the pocket of her jacket that she's wearing. And she kind of just like shakes it, dusts herself off, and then she just looks up at Torch. She's like, "You hungry?" They have really good food trucks down the road. I don't know if they have food trucks back then.
Food truck. Yeah, what would the...
Well, they would have stalls or something, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure someone was just cooking in the streets in the 40s. Like, that feels right.
Yeah, no license, just doing whatever. Yeah, like you could say they have like a food booth or something.
Yeah, I'm starving. I haven't eaten since Wyoming.
Yeah, let's get you some food. And she's going towards where the food stall is that she's going to. It's a fish fry.
Fish fry. Okay, and we turn the page. Kristie, where has Geiger Gwen taken Torchbearer? I kind of... never mind. I was just going to totally not listen to you. What do you want to do, Kristie?
Well... There's a little storefront with like an awning overhang, and out front there's a guy with just like a little fire in a barrel and a grill thing thrown over the top with cast iron pan, and he's just pan frying up some fish. And a little sign that just says Ivan's. And she's like, Ivan does great work. You have no idea. You will never look at fish the same way. I never liked fish, but then Ivan totally got me hooked.
I see what you did there. Is this... This doesn't look sanitary.
Try not to think about it.
Ivan turns and looks at you. He turns and looks at you and gives you like a greasy thumbs up, and he smiles, and like most of his teeth are missing.
If you say it's good, I'll give it a shot.
Builds immunities, right, Ivan? And Gwen just throws another thumbs up back at Ivan. And she grabs 2 little baskets of fish and fries from the front of them, and Torch, reach in my front jacket pocket, the left one. The other one's got the creepy mask. And you'll reach in there, and there'll be lipstick and some cash. Just all the cash. Just give him all the cash. It's fine. Keep the change, babe.
All of
it?
Yeah. Okay. Just hands over this wad of money. A couple of coins fall out. He bends down, picks them up off the street, and make sure Ivan gets them.
Yeah, I think there's like a boot where there's like another little sign that says money and like pointing to the boot, and so you just like slip it into the boot.
Just right in the boot? Oh, okay.
And then Gwen just turns to Torch and she's like, there's a spot in the pier this way that we can sit and eat.
Well, all right.
It's real pretty this time of night.
Okay, let's check it out.
You can carry your own food. And she shoves a basket in his chest.
Try not to drop out any of his fries.
All right. And then I think the next panel is y'all sitting on this pier with like your feet dangling above the water. There is a beautiful night sky overhead. And I like to think like that the foreground and the pier and you are like black, but like the sky is like this indigo blue color with just like little pinpricks of light to be the stars. What are y'all doing?
Well, you weren't wrong. This fish is surprisingly good, and this view is very pretty.
One of the things you need to know about me, Torch, is I'm rarely wrong.
I think I'm starting to learn that slowly but surely.
Good. I like you, Torch. I don't like many people.
Well, thanks. With all the stuff that's been going on, it's been kind of hard to feel like anybody does. You know?
What do you mean? You are the light. Everybody loves the shining beacon of hope. And she kind of goes, she throws one hand up and she does this very overdramatic, like, oh, the light of Torch.
Romeo, oh Romeo.
Yeah. She's just being very sarcastic and she like kind of leans into him for it.
Sometimes I feel like the light isn't what people are looking for, you know? And when you're just trying to live your life, then that light can just be kind of irritating.
Well, the darkness ain't too great either. I like the light. More now than I did before.
Yeah, me too. I'm starting to find my way back to it. It feels good.
I don't think I ever had it much before, so this is all new to me.
I understand. This is all kind of new to me too. Not all new things are bad. Take the good when you could find it, right?
You are absolutely correct. This life has very few good things in it. You take it and you go.
Yeah. Try and leave the world better than you found it.
There's a panel of her just staring at him for a second. And there's a very, like, there's a yellow thing that says awkward silence. And then the next panel is her just, why didn't you dance with me? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell it, but also, like, why didn't you?
I'm sorry. It was just a hard day, and I was so wrapped up in all the bad stuff that I was feeling, and just felt like I'd be stepping on your toes.
Metaphorically or physically? Because you know I can phase in and out of objects, right?
Well, yeah. Mostly metaphorically.
Well, I hate to tell you this, babe, but I've been at rock bottom before, so there's very few things you can do that will bring me down. I promise.
Well, I appreciate that. And, hey, you never know. Maybe next time you ask, I won't say no.
So you're hoping for next time?
I mean, well, if there's, I don't know, if there's another inauguration.
Oh, you're totally hoping for next time. It's fine.
We get invited to it.
We can dance anytime you
There's
want.
bread.
It's fine.
All right. Well, how's your fish?
Cold now.
I could probably warm that up for you.
Such a gentleman.
I've never done it with fish, but we could try.
Try it. Let's see if it works.
Should I roll for this?
You could.
Should I roll for
This
fish?
is the cutest date. I'm sorry.
Roll plus fish, please.
I got a 0 in fish, unfortunately.
0
Oh,
fish.
no.
But I rolled a 7. That's sufficient.
That's
Sufficient.
sufficient.
And cue laugh track.
So, Phil, how does it go?
He just kind of like reaches over, takes his hand underneath this like basket, as kind of puts his hand under hers, and then like this light is emitted from the palm of his hand. And you can feel this warmth just like emanating outward, and slowly but surely you can kind of see the oils in the fish start to kind of bubble again and become reinvigorated as it heats up through the basket, through his hand.
Yeah. Gwen doesn't even look at the fish. She's just staring at Torch the whole time because he's like holding her hand under the basket. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's great. Thanks.
Okay. I hope
it's hot now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
She just very awkwardly like eats a fry and looks away. She's so smart up until the moment it happens, and she's like, "Oh no."
I think I would like to trigger a move right now, or rather, y'all have triggered a move called "Be There for a Friend." This is a new move that I made up earlier this week. But when you spend meaningful one-on-one time with another PC hero, roll plus your bond score with that character. So why don't you both go ahead and roll 2d6 plus your bond score, not the bond clock, but the actual numerical score for the other person. So what is your bond score with each other?
Mine is just a +1 with Gwen.
I've got a +2 with you.
Okay. Ooh. Go ahead and roll 2d6 plus that bond score.
An 8?
Me too. I rolled a 6 +2.
Nice.
Wow. Okay. So
5.
On an 8, choose one. Either step back your bond clock with them by 1, or they recover 1 condition, their choice. Of their choice.
I would love to recover.
No, you can totally recover a condition. I haven't burned any bonds with you as far as I know. So
yeah.
Nope.
We're solid. Yeah, I'd like to get rid of anger.
Me too.
That one makes the most sense.
We both are just no longer
can't
angry.
be angry right now.
I like it.
All right, so you both
this feels very serendipitous.
All right, awesome.
I like it. We both rolled 8s and we both got rid of angry.
Okay. Perfect. This is good. This is a good time. We're making good
The
content.
meet cute of the century.
Yeah. Hello, friends, and welcome to the mid-roll section of Season 1, Episode 23 of Tales to Inspire. I'm your host, David White, and I do not know why I struggled so hard to say Season 1, Episode 23. Could you hear it in my voice? I was like, Season 1? It's an episode. There's an episode, and there's a number to that episode, and this is the episode number that it is. Anyways, I hope that you're enjoying listening to this episode 23, in fact, of Tales to Inspire. Phil and Kristie are such a great pair. It is so fun because, I've known Phil for years, and Kristie I met through a stream years ago. And it's just so funny, when worlds collide and they mesh so well. Phil and Kristie, I love you so much. This is a great episode. Just so much good energy and just good vibes from this episode. And I'm excited for the listeners to hear more of Torchbearer and Geiger Gwen. And as you are listening to this episode, Carrie and I and our son are taking a very well-needed vacation for the summer. And, I say that to say I hope that you are getting to spend some time, some sort of vacation, getting away from your monotony in your daily life, getting out and exploring a little bit. I've recently found that I'm like fascinated by overland camping, and I don't know. I would like to go overland camping. Getting out in nature. The quiet, away from technology. I think that would be really relaxing, and I hope that you find something relaxing for you to do on a vacation, however you want to spend it. And as you know, we are a show that is fully supported by the generous monthly donations of our patrons on Patreon. And as you know from the past couple of show notes, that we are really scraping the bottom of the barrel. In fact, we scraped through the bottom of the barrel into the mucky mud underneath. We are desperately trying to get back to $400 a month. Because at $400 a month, this is a sustainable operation. I can sustainably pay my friends, the performers, Phil, Kristie, and all the others, $5 for every hour that we spend recording. Right now, I cannot afford to do that. We have less than $100 in our bank account right now, and it is a really big mess, and it's very, very depressing for me because, I want this to be successful. I want this to be something that, people like and people enjoy, and that could maybe even be a full-time job at some point in the future. That would be a dream come true to create content, and just it really, really sucks to have your dreams dashed like that. I wouldn't say that my dreams have been dashed, but it was a big blow to my morale to see our bank account get bottom out like that. But anyways, I'm going off about nothing. We desperately need some new patrons. Right now, we are making $285 a month with only 26 patrons. That's not a whole lot of people, and we are so thankful for our 26 patrons. Thank you so much for giving to us. But like I said, we're trying to get back to $400 a month, and we would greatly appreciate it if you like this show and you like what we're doing here. Please click the link below and give any amount that you can. And, someone in our Discord suggested that we find some way to do, like, one-time donations, like maybe a Ko-Fi.com. Is it Ko-Fi or is it Ko-Fi? Like, buy me a Ko-Fi? I don't know. Kofi.com. Figuring out some way to do that. So maybe, people that don't want to do monthly-based subscriptions could do, like, a one-time donation to help out the podcast. Hey, if people are interested in that, I'll definitely pursue it. If you would like to, if you're someone who is like, well, I don't want to give every month, but if I did a one-time donation, I think that could be good. So if you're someone like that, go to our Discord, message us on Facebook or Twitter, email us at misconceptionspod.com. Let us know if that's something that you would be interested in. And speaking of patrons, we got a new patron this week. Christopher S. Thompson. Christopher, thank you so much for supporting our show. Thank you so much for coming to us in our time of need and helping us out. Also, Phil says you're a pretty awesome person, and I hope we get to hang out soon. Well, that is it for the show notes for this episode. I'm going to stop rambling, and I'm going to start packing up my bag so I can get on the road and get to this well-needed vacation. But I hope that you enjoy the rest of this episode.
Gwen, you have been investigating the Tuskman criminal empire, kind of figuring out what they've been doing for the past 5 months. So I was trying to think of a way to give you information on what's happening. So I think what I will do instead is we're going to treat this like you did the downtime move.
Okay.
And you did the gather intel option, which means tell everyone at the table how you did it, and you can ask the EIC 3 questions about the subject of your research. So if you remember previously, we had a select number of questions you could ask, but I've decided to go more City of Mist with this and kind of just open it up to open-ended questions. So Kristie, you can ask me any 3 questions about the Tuskmans, and I will give you a solid lead or a definitive answer to your question. So think about what 3 things has Geiger Gwen discovered during these 5 months.
Okay, well, I think the first would be the location of Tuskman. Where is he? His new headquarters, or where he's hiding out.
Hitting hard right off the bat.
Just going right for it.
Where do I need to punch?
Where can I kill the man?
I mean, you would know that Tussler's base of operations is the Crystal Pool Natatorium, this gymnasium that you were there for when he bought it, and he converted it into during the day. It was this place of where people could come swim, where people could work out and be fit. This place of community resource. But then at night, it was a gambling den. It was a gun running den. So at night, it became an all different creature altogether. But the Crystal Pool Natatorium is where Tussler does his business, and still does his business.
Okay, so then what are his current goals with his conquest, I guess, and his shipping and whatnot? Because I didn't know what he was shipping.
I think... Okay, so what are his current goals? You're not sure what his current goals are. You have been working and frustrating his plans for the past 5 months, and you have busted up gun smuggling, you have busted up some racketeering, but then you found some things of scientific equipment that was being shipped, material from Germany. And you have discovered, you knew this from the Alps, that the Tuskmans were doing business with Nazi Germany. And so they have been getting some sort of scientific equipment from Germany still, even though Germany has since expunged the Nazi regime and kind of become a military junta in its absence. But yeah, you're not quite sure what his goal is, but you know that he's still doing his normal business, but he's also getting this weird science stuff. And now there was this mask. Not exactly sure what's going on.
Does he know that Gwen is the one causing him problems?
Gwen has told him as much without like saying it to his face. I love the idea that Geiger Gwen has like made it damn well known that she's coming for Tuskman. Like whether that's like tying people up and leaving a note with them.
Yeah, that feels
right. Something, but like he knows. He knows you're coming for him.
Alrighty.
Yeah, so you are having your cute moment, but I just wanted to give you some, because I realized I never really like, hey, this is what's going on in the past 5 months that you've been investigating. You should know some stuff. So that's information that Geiger Gwen has.
So Tuskman knows I'm around. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to hit him where it hurts because he will see it coming. He knows me. He knows my tactics. It's hard to get in there. But he doesn't know you.
No, I don't think he does. He might know that you got your target on his back, but he doesn't know you're not alone.
Oh, no, he thinks I'm alone. He knows I worked with others before, but he doesn't think I play nice. You'd be willing to help?
Well, it seems all this business kind of led me here, Philadelphia, to join you in your neck of the woods. It's the least I could do to help out and try and put all this business to rest. If you don't mind a helping hand.
And there's a panel of Gwen just looking at the water off the pier for a minute. Up until now, I didn't really like anyone helping me. I thought I could do it all on my own, but I'm starting to realize over the last few years with the team and everything that having someone there that you can trust is not a bad thing. And trusting someone is also not a bad thing. So yes, I will gladly take your help.
All right. I know it's not easy to trust and to put your trust in someone and hope that they can be trustworthy. And I hope that I don't let you down. I hope I can be worthy of that trust.
You're more than worthy. It's me I'm worried about. And she just stands up and holds out her hand to help him up.
Torchbearer looks at her hand for a second, just like has to think about what's going on for a second, and then he like just kind of like oh yeah, and like has to like set his fries and the rest of his fish aside and like wipes his hands off on his pants and stuff, and then takes her hand.
And I help him up. Alright, well, I know where he works, so we don't have to do it now, we can do it in the morning. But I really would love your help.
You've got it. As long as you need it.
She just keeps holding his hand.
You see, this kind of like awkwardness comes over his face, and then it's soon replaced by like a kind of understanding. And he just keeps his hand in hers.
Okay. So, where are we going to turn the page to? Are we going to turn the page back to Geiger Gwen's office? Are we going to the Crystal Pool Natatorium tonight? Or are we going to the next morning? What do y'all want to do?
Honestly, I feel like their relationship would require a fade to black. So I want to just leave it as like they ended the night together, but you don't know how. And then the next day, we're standing outside the Crystal Emporium.
Okay, I'm totally cool with that. We turn the page from that scene, and then it is no longer night in this panel, but it is day, and we see the outside of the Crystal Pool Natatorium, this beautiful building with a crystal dome over the top of it, and of course there is the little yellow box that says the next day, the Crystal Pool Natatorium. And it's the next morning, so we see like families and maybe some older people walking through these front doors inside, and I guess we see Geiger Gwen and Torchbearer, I guess, standing across the street. Are y'all in your superhero regalia? Are you in civilian identities? How are y'all dressed this morning?
I think Torch is always.
I was gonna say, I was like, I don't think he ever wears anything, but
I did one time, and it didn't work out well.
And Ubermensch tore it off you.
It was hot.
Gwen's wearing her fedora, but no jacket because it's the morning, and her pants and shirt combo with the thigh holster of her gun just there. And she looks up at the building and she looks at Torch. She's like, all right, well, his office is on the top left. He likes to have the best view of the city, so he's got glass surrounding it the entire way. Unfortunately, between here and there is a lot of security, so
We could tear our way through his security from the first floor to his office, or perhaps we could bypass all that and go in through the roof. I hate to ruin something as beautiful as that glass ceiling, but I'm sure you understand glass ceilings were made to be broken.
Can you get me right up to the window?
I don't see why not.
I can get us through the window if you get me to it.
Alright, well, hold on tight for a little bit.
She just jumps and wraps her arms around his neck and her legs around his waist.
And Torch will bend at the knees and leap up into the air in a single bound.
Yes!
And then the next panel is y'all on top of the roof.
Torchbearer kind of lands roughly on both feet, kneels down for her to help herself
Okay.
up.
She hops off and she's like, alright, well, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like flying.
It was just one long jump.
I know.
I promise.
I think it's just from jumping out of that jet the first time. Don't like it. His office should be directly below us. This might feel weird. And she wraps him in a bear hug again, and she's gonna phase through the roof with him into the office.
What do you mean weird? Oh!
Okay, so you go to face through the roof, but Gwen, you see like your feet go through the concrete roof of this building, but then they stop. And even through your high heels, even though they are intangible right now, you feel the burning sensation of lead. You cannot phase any further.
I quickly phase back out, and I kind of inadvertently shove Torch away, and she just kind of stumbles a little bit, and she's like, oh my gosh, that hurt. That bastard!
What is it?
He knows just what I can't handle. What a...
What do you mean?
He surrounded himself in lead.
Oh. You can't face through it.
Nope. That is the one thing. Weird, right?
Well, I guess, I'm just gonna have to find another way in.
I was really hoping to do this not loud.
Yeah, I understand.
If Dr. Fusion was here, he would make a comment about how lead has this radioactive isotope that must work in a counterpoint to Gwen's own radioactivity that allows her to rearrange her molecules. That's a little yellow note down in the bottom corner.
And Gwen would not listen to him at all.
Yeah.
Thanks, dog.
Yeah. So once again, you see all these families like walking in wearing their, it's July, so it's hot. And so these people have like swimming trunks on. They have towels thrown over their shoulders going in to swim. And I would just love for you two to go ready to swim. And for that to be your cover to get into the Crystal Pool Natatorium.
Oh, he knows what I look like, so I'll have to put a swim cap on and some goggles, and you'll have to lead the way because he has no idea what you look like, I think. Are you willing to take your costume off, big guy?
Yeah, I really don't think it would be good to swim in.
You're not wrong. Alright, let's, this might be our only way in without getting noticed.
Okay, we can sneak in super casually.
And then we turn the page, and we are inside the Crystal Pool Natatorium. And we see like this huge swimming promenade with all these people splashing and swimming in it. And then there is a women's dressing room on one end, a men's dressing room on the other end, and at the same time the doors open, and you two walk out. Could you please describe what swimsuit are you wearing?
You see Torchbearer walk out of the dressing room, like combing his hair over. He's wearing this very short, high-waisted white shorts with like a gold pinstripe running down the side, and this like a brown leather belt with a gold buckle fastened in the front.
Do you have a tank top on?
No.
Ooh.
Scandalous.
Scandalous. Okay, and then on the other side of this very long panel, what do we see Geiger Gwen changed into?
Gwen is wearing what probably would have been seen as scandalous, but is worn by people. They just get talked about a lot. It's like a red one piece, but with like a cutout keyhole right under her chest, into the shorts that they wear, the tight ones. And then her top is just like a halter red top that covers her, but it is a deep red, like it is very eye-catching. But she's got a swim cap on to cover her hair. And the swim cap has like these daisies on it.
Perfect.
Yeah. So she's trying to cover up the things that Tuskman might notice about her.
Okay, so we see you two step out, and I think like we have a long panel of the pool with people playing in it, and we have like the two doors open up, but then we have like larger panels on either side of this panel showing you two step out from the changing rooms, and then like we have some panels of you walking towards each other towards the middle of the pool, but y'all meet in the middle of the pool with all these families splashing and playing in the background.
Well, seems we've made it in undetected so far.
Gwen is just staring at him for a second. She's like, you look different.
Yeah.
I like it.
This has been a long time since I've worn such little.
He should be in his office right about now, right? Sorry, I'm distracted by all your skin.
You can see Torch completely blushes, just like a full body blush.
I love it.
I mean, you look different too. I mean, not bad, but yeah. If he's in his office, maybe we could. Maybe we should head there to the office.
Yeah. Let's go.
Okay. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So we see you walk around the circumference of the pool, walk down the side of it to where, Geiger Gwen, you know there is this staircase that leads up to the, I guess it would be the second floor, where his office would be. But you see somebody not wearing swim gear. One of these thugs is posted right outside this door. Ooh, and you know what, Kristie?
No, don't do it.
This is Bobby from your issue
I knew it
0.
as soon as you said it. I was like, no.
The dude you shoved into the mirror in the bathroom. This is who this is.
Oh, that poor guy. He does not like me. There's a panel of us, like, walking in that direction, and then all of a sudden you see, like, a panel of Gwen, like, anime eyes. Just, like, real big. And she spins around real fast, and she kind of just, like, whispers, you're gonna have to take this one. He's not my biggest fan, and he will recognize me. So, you need to distract him to get through, or... I don't know how to do this. How do we get back the door?
I'll see what I can do. And Torch will kind of try to casually walk towards this posted guard.
So yeah, you approach him and he looks at you and he says, "Hey, the pool's over there, buddy." And he like points to the pool.
Yeah, I saw somebody. The lifeguard was off duty, like drinking in a closet, and somebody's drowning, and so I came to get help.
Oh my gosh. Sure. Go ahead and roll to influence someone. So roll plus influence.
Gosh, this is gonna suck. I deserve this to fail. Alright, so my influence is +1, but I have a -2 because I'm guilty. I feel guilty about tricking this poor guy. I don't even know him. Here we go. A 9 still.
Wow.
Thank God.
Okay. So on a... Oh gosh, where's that? On a 9, on an influence someone, they need something more. Evidence that this is the right course, guidance in making the right choice, or resources to aid them before they act. So he kind of cocks an eyebrow at you and says, "Drinking? God, these teenagers. I don't... Where is it? Which closet? Come on, show me."
It was downstairs on the right. It was the last one on the right.
And I think he's like... He's pushing you towards... Like... to show him. Like, he wants you to take him there to show him.
Okay, I kind of, like, move out of his way, so we're kind of, like, walking together.
Uh-huh.
And I'd like to just, like, chop him in the back of the head.
Okay, okay.
I'd like to bonk him and just knock him out.
Shove him in the pool! Shove him in the pool!
That might kill him. Didn't you hear the lifeguards drinking?
You know what? The best thing about this is you're like, someone's drowning, the lifeguard's drinking. No one's saving the drowning person right now.
Yeah, no.
Nobody else is qualified.
No. Bobby is concerned that this dude is drinking when he's supposed to be working. So I think you walk him past Geiger Gwen. Gwen, as they walk past you, how are you like not being seen by Bobby?
I'm just You just see her, like, she's got her back to him. She's just kind of holding her and looking up at the sky, pointing. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so... But then she slowly backs up, like, as they're getting close to her. Mm-hmm. So she, like, backs away as she's watching him out of the corner of her eye. She's backing towards the door.
Perfect. Yeah, and I think they, like, walk out of frame, and we see you walking backwards, very David Asia style. And you just open up the door and just... whoop, slip in. And Torch, I think you walk out of frame with Bobby to show him where this young teen is drinking. And Geiger Gwen, we will follow you in the stairwell. So you're in the stairwell that leads up to the second floor. What are you doing?
First thing she does is she takes off the swim cap. Never wearing that again. And she just starts jogging up the steps. But before she goes through the door into the wing that would have the offices, she kind of just takes a moment. She's like, oh, gosh, I thought he'd actually be here with me. Hope he makes it. And then she goes through the door.
Okay.
Heading straight for where she knows Tuskman's office is.
Okay. And you are entering into an area where you are not supposed to be. So please roll a sneak around. So roll 2d6 plus your maneuver.
Okay. That's an 8.
An 8? Okay. I mean, you succeed, but I guess, get to choose one. You must leave something behind or be discovered. You're spotted, but you get the drop on them. Or there's something here that you didn't plan on.
It's between I'm spotted, but I get the drop on them, and there's something I didn't plan on.
What if you chose the second option?
I kind of figured you would want that one, actually. So, yep, there's something that I didn't plan on.
Okay.
And if it's what I think it is, I'm going to be upset.
You open the door. And I think there is a hallway that is leading down to the office. And there's like all these meeting rooms in between here and the office. And so you start walking down, and as you're walking, you hear some voices. And a door to one of the meeting rooms, the door handle turns and opens. What do you do?
Does the door open out?
It opens in.
Okay. Then I'm gonna phase into the wall and just hold my breath.
Okay. Luckily, the interior walls are not laced or painted with lead. It's only the exterior walls that have had this. So you kind of phase into the wall into another room. And I think we have like a cutaway panel. Oh, no. We see you in this dark room without any lights on. And we see like the disconnected text bubbles of whoever's walking down this hallway. The boss has appreciated all your help in arranging all this. You know, it's a real shame what happened with all that stuff overseas. Yes, it is unfortunate that this has happened. But I thank you for your help in relocating me. And then we have two panels side by side of Gwen in the dark room and one of Tuskman's goons in the hallway, and next to him we see this man in a Nazi officer's uniform. And we see the little yellow box that says Oberfuhrer Guido von Wiers, head of the Occulte, or former head of the Occult Gesellschaft. And the goon holds something out to Oberfuhrer von Wiers and says, I hear Argentina's really nice this time of year. And Oberfuhrer von Wiers takes it and says, I hear anywhere is better than Germany right now. Anywhere that I may continue my research. My compliments to your master. And then Guido von Wiers walks past the room that Geiger Gwen is in. And that goon turns and walks back into the meeting room.
She's gonna phase back out into the hallway and just watch the back of Guido von Wiers. And she's like, oh, Torch. That one's all you, babe. Just gonna go towards Tuskman.
Okay. I think we turn the page and we see Bobby's unconscious body shoved into a closet as Grant is just closing the door on him. And the Torch, I think you step back into the natatorium, and you know where the stairwell is.
Yeah, I'll head out of this room and look both ways, make sure I wasn't, like, suspicious. I haven't drawn anybody's eye, and then make my way back towards the stairs.
Okay. You make your way back down the stair, back to the stairs. You open up that door and you step into it. And as you step into it, you notice you're not alone. And I think you maybe ease the door shut just a little bit, but you can still see through the sliver of it. And from where you're standing, you see the back of Guido von Veers as he is taking an exterior door out into the alleyway. But it is you have never seen Guido von Veers, but you know what a Nazi uniform looks like. And you see the back of this Nazi uniformed individual stepping through the door into the alleyway.
What could he be doing here? Seems to have gotten a lot more complicated than I thought. Gwen, I hope you're okay. And he's gonna follow von Veers.
Ooh, okay. We turn the page again to Geiger Gwen reaching the end of the hallway and that door that has like a gold plaque on it. It's like the exact opposite of the peeling, cracked black lettering on Geiger Gwen's office. It's this gold plaque, huge name, Theodore Tuskman. You grab that door handle, you open it up, you step into the office. Do you announce your presence at all, or are you trying to be sneaky?
I'm not trying to be sneaky, but I don't say anything either. You just see her open the door, shut it slowly behind her, and then she just walks towards the desk.
Okay. You walk towards the desk. The chair is turned to you, and you hear like some tittering, some giggling. We see like little word bubbles like smooch, 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 smooch.
She slams her hands on the desk. She's like, "Boss! Thought this wasn't supposed to happen during work hours."
And we see like there's a motion as the chair falls down, and this woman in a bathing suit like falls out of somebody's lap onto the floor, and Tiny Tim turns around.
Oh no!
All these kissy marks on his face. Also in a swimsuit. And he looks at you and says, "Gwen, what the hell are you doing here?"
Oh!
And down in the bottom corner of this panel, we see the words, "To be continued."
No!
End of episode.
Got her.
Why are you the way you are, David?
I hate so much about the way you choose to be.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Tales to Inspire. We'll be back with our next episode on July 3rd. If you have social media, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter. Like and follow us at Misconceptions Pod for up-to-date information about the show, behind-the-scenes pictures, and just to show us your general positive feelings about the show. We also have a Discord. You can click the link below to join our Discord so that you can chat with other friends of the show and chat with other cast members directly. We also have an email. If you would like to contact us that way, you can email us at misconceptionspod@gmail.com. This show is fully supported by the generous monthly donations of our patrons on Patreon. If you would like to join that elite group of supporters and gain access to exclusive content, please consider joining our Patreon. The Tales to Inspire theme song was composed by Esteban Del Pino. You can find out more about his music on fiverr.com/IAM_WAKE. Torchbearer was played by Phil Montgomery, who can be found at BMC Philanthropy on Twitter. Geiger Gwen was played by Kristie Scheidemantel, who can be found at Polish Kristie on Twitter. And I'm David White, your editor-in-chief. You can find me at Mr. Banana Socks on Twitter.
The role-playing game system used in this production was a modified version of the Worlds in Peril role-playing game by Sam Joko Publishing,
featuring elements from the Avatar Legends role-playing game and Masks: A New Generation role-playing game, both by Magpie Games. Tales to Inspire is a product of the Misconceptions Podcast Network. Find out more about our other shows and buy cool merch at misconceptionspod.com. And that's it for this week's episode of Tales to Inspire. Thank you so much for listening, and keep it nerdy, y'all.